Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are an old subscriber, welcome back. Today I am bringing you guys a makeup tutorial. I feel like I need to be doing makeup tutorials a lot because people on my makeup page on IG always ask, like, do you do makeup tutorials? Do you do makeup tutorials? So I will be doing a lot of those. I'll try and mix things up, you know, like a little bit braiding, a little bit makeup. Just try to mix it up so that everybody can be happy. So for this look, I used the Queen Flower eyeshadow palette by BBS. If you guys don't know who they are called BBS on Instagram. I will leave their links and everything in the description box below. Also, I have a coupon code with them if you guys want to order the palette. The palette is really lit, like the pigments. I did some swatches in the video so you guys will get to see it. But if you guys want to order it, I will leave my code in the description box below. If you guys want to see what this palette can do, keep on watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and turn on your notification if you already haven't done that. That's the bell beside the subscribe button. Know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get into the video. So the moisturizer that I am going to be using is by Dermalogica, and this is their Dynamic Skin Recovery Moisturizer. So whenever I do skincare, I like to stay within the same brand. So meaning if I am using L'Oreal, then I have to make sure that I'm using all L'Oreal products. Or if I am using Dermalogica, then I have to make sure that I'm using all Dermalogica products. That's something that I've been doing for a while that I think it's like literally stuck with me. Most of my skincare product is by Dermalogica. Like, I am a big fan. I love all their products. Like, it's been working for me for years, so I just never really thought about switching to anything else. You know, stick to what you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize my face. So next I'm going to go ahead with my e.l.f. Nourishing Oil. So now that that is done, I am going to go ahead and prime my face, and I am going to be using the Dermalogica Skin Perfect Primer. So for the brows, I am using the Browzin Brow Gel by BBS Cosmetics. And this is in the shade, I believe, Ebony. No, this is in the shade Black. So for my brows, I'm not really doing much. I'm just following the shape of my brows and I am filling it in. A lot of people have a hard time with the brows, but honestly, it's not that hard. You just have to follow the shape of your brows. I feel like once you get that part down, you can always adjust it. You know, if you wanted it to be bigger, you can make it bigger. If you wanted it to be smaller, you can make it smaller, however you want it to be. But first, you need to understand your brows, and you need to start off by following the shape of your brows. And that's what I am doing. I'm just following the shape of my brows and filling in the parts that needs to be filled in. So I am using LA Pro Concealer to clean up the brows. This is in the shade Chestnut. I'm going to take this P. Louise flat brush that I got with my base when I ordered it. And I'm just going to use that to clean up my brows. Cleaning up your brows, again, I don't think it's really hard. You're just going over what you already created. I feel like the hardest part is actually filling in the brows and shaping it up. Right now, all you're supposed to be doing is cleaning it up with your concealer. So just follow the shape that you originally created when you was filling in your brows. This is why it's very important to just follow the shape of your brow when you are filling it in. Like for me, sometimes I can do it really big and clean it up, but that's because I have the experience. I feel like if you are a newbie, you should just follow the shape of your brow. Don't try to do too much, because when you try to do too much, that's when all the struggles and everything comes in, and it doesn't have to be that difficult. But honestly, brows are not hard to do. All you are doing is following the shape of your brows. So once that is done, you want to blend out the concealer. You do not want to leave it to dry because LA Pro concealer dries really fast. And if you leave it to dry, you're going to have a line of demarcation, and you do not want that. So you can just take a foundation brush and blend it out. Okay, so I was going to do some swatches for you guys, but in the middle of my swatching, my mother called, and I ended up stopping the video and then forgot to turn it back on. So I only like captured just a little bit of the swatches, and then I thought my camera was recording, but it wasn't. So I'm so sorry about that, guys. But I mean, just from these, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swatches that I've done, you could tell that this palette is like lit. So go ahead and get you one. So for my eyeshadow base, I am going to be using the P. Louis Rumour base, and this is the shade 2. So I'm going to go ahead and place the base on my lid, and then I'm going to take my concealer brush and just blend it out. Make sure that it is evenly blended and spread it out like butter. I need to go to bed, y'all. It's like 10 p.m. and I'm tired. So I am going to take Rich Soil from that palette, and I'm going to use that in my crease. Originally, I wasn't going for a smoky eye. I was actually just going to do a cut crease, but it ended up being a smoky eye. So as you guys can see, I'm just patting that shade on, and that's all I did until I got it, until I got the pigment that I wanted. That's when I started blending. But for the beginning, you just want to just pat the shadow on where you want it to be. Just place it where you want it to be, and once you've done that, you just go ahead and blend it out. So I am going to take pink hibiscus, and I'm going to use that to blend the edges out so that it doesn't look harsh and it looks beautiful. Nobody wants a harsh looking eyeshadow look. So we're going to take the pink, and I'm just going to slightly use it to blend the edges in windshield wiper mode. So once that is done, I am going to take black Pansy, and I am going to just, so originally I think I mentioned the look I was going for wasn't going to be a smoky eye. It was just going to be a cut crease, but after I placed the black on there, I was like, this is really interesting. And then I ended up doing like a black smoky eye. But I'm just taking the black and I'm just placing that in the crease and then blending it down towards my lid. I don't know, I think that makes sense. So basically I place it in the corner of my crease and then I just blend it down towards my lid. So black is a very dangerous color to work with. Like if you are not careful, it can mess up your whole look. So this is still one dip from the palette. I haven't gone back in. So I really love the black from the palette because it is going a long way. This is just one dip. Like I haven't gone back in. I'm just like, wow, this is pretty. So if you're not careful with black, when you're working with black, if you don't know what you're doing, you want to go in lightly. Like you do not want to put too much because it can mess up your whole entire look. So I'm just going to keep blending and I'm going to keep going in. I'm going to rotate between the black and the pink. I'm going to use the pink to blend out the edges of the black and then go back in with the black to replace any, I guess, any pigment or any shadow that was lost from all the blending. So you just want to keep going in with the black and then in with the pink. You just want to rotate between the two until you get the perfect blend. You're going to have to do it for a while. Black is, like I said, it's a very dangerous color and it's very hard to blend. So you just have to keep going in and out until it is perfectly blended out nicely. So once all the blending is done, I am going to go in with this ColourPop shadow called Night Dream. It is such a beautiful black, and I am going to place that all over my lid. So now that the eyes is done, we are going to move on to the face. And for foundation, I am using the CoverGirl Queen Collection Natural Hue Foundation. Okay, so applying my foundation, I use like 3 different brushes. I started off with this stippling brush. I wanted to see what it felt like and what it would be like, because I don't think I've ever really used one of these. And then from this, I used my Morphe foundation brush. I didn't like it, so then I ended up just using my Real Techniques Expert Face brush. For my Morphe foundation brush, I like that one for like foundations that are thick, that are full coverage, and this foundation is not. So I didn't really, I don't know, I liked using my Real Techniques brush for this foundation. When applying your foundation, honestly, just drag it down. I'm not saying drag it all the way down to your chest, but drag it down a little bit to your neck. Make it blend, let it look blended and seamless and all that. For me, honestly, my neck is a little bit darker than my face, so most of the times I just most of the times I just match my foundation to my chest and then let the contour speak for my neck. Some people would also match their foundation to the neck and then let the contour, I don't know, look. Do what you want to do so long as it looks good, so long as you like it, so long as you love it. That's all that matters. So we're going to move on to highlighter, and for highlighting, I am using the Tarte Shape Tape. I think I said it right. Yeah, to highlight, and the shade that I am using is a deep. Sometimes I like to use deep sand, and then sometimes I just like to use deep. But I'm going to use deep, and then I'm going to go under deep with the LA Pro Concealer in the shade Chestnut. So I feel like highlight and contour is a pretty easy step. Basically, you highlight all the areas that you would like to pop, and you contour all the areas that you would basically want to hide. So usually the highlighted areas are your under eye, your forehead, your nose, and then your chin. And then the contour areas are underneath your highlight, etc. But you also have to know the shape of your face. Like for me, I can't really do a lot of contour on my forehead because I don't have a forehead to contour. Some people have really nice big foreheads and they can contour and all that. I cannot do that because then I'll be hiding what I don't even have. So I usually just go for my forehead when it comes to contouring. I don't really contour. I just use my bronzer to kind of just, define it a little bit. So once that is done, I'm going to spray my face with my Mario Badescu spray. This makes it easier for me to blend out my highlighter, because if you're a user of the Sharp Tape, you know that it dries really fast. So I like to spray over it before I blend it, and that makes it easy to move. So I am using my Real Techniques Expert Face brush to blend out the highlighter. You can use whatever brush works for you. Some people like to use beauty blenders. I used to use beauty blenders, but then I don't know. I like my brushes better. So once in a while I do pick up a beauty blender, but if you are someone who loves to use a brush, then that's just what you like to do. So once I am done blending it out with the Real Techniques brush, I am going to go in with my Morphe, I believe it's the E40 brush, I'm not sure, don't quote me on it. And I'm going to use that to just blend just the under eye. This is going to be the same brush that I'm going to use to blend my nose highlight because it's so small. It fits in all the right areas. So I'm going to take this Lancome foundation. I totally forgot the number, the shade. I can leave that in the description box if you want. And that is what I am going to use to contour with. So I'm going to take this Morphe brush and I'm going to use it to blend out the contour areas. I forgot the number of the brush. Again, I can leave it in the description box below if you guys want to know. But I'm just going to use this brush and blend out all the contour areas. So then I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush and use that to do the final blended. Make sure everything is blended really nicely. So I'm going to take this small Kat Von D concealer brush that I am like obsessed with, and that's what I am going to use to contour my nose with. So to set my face, I am using the CoverGirl loose setting powder, and this is in the shade Honey, and I'm gonna use this to set all my highlighted areas, meaning my under eye, my forehead, my nose, and my chin. And then I'm also gonna use it to, you know, define my contour right underneath my contour line, you know, give it that sharp cut. Know what I'm saying? So I get that a lot of people don't like the whole defined contour thing, but I'm obsessed with it. I love it. So I'm going to keep doing it. I mean, to each his own. Some people like it. Some people don't like it. What you're going to like, somebody's not going to like. And what somebody's going to like, you're not going to like. So now I am going to take my Lancome finishing powder, and I am going to use that all over my face to make sure that everything is blended really well and everything has come together as one. So I forgot to show it to you guys, but it's this finishing powder that Lancome has. If you don't have that and you have the MAC, I believe, finishing powder or something like that, you can use that. It doesn't really matter. You can use any finishing powder. Wow. Any finishing powder that you have, you can use to do this. So I'm going to go in with my bronze, and this is also by CoverGirl, and this is their Ebony Bronze, and I'm just going to use that to go right above my contour area to put some, you know, to put some warmth back in my face. I'm also going to go ahead and use it for my forehead because I'm not really able to contour my forehead because I don't have a forehead. I like to use my bronzer to kind of, you know, put some warmth back into it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my lashes on. These are some lashes that I got from AliExpress. They were really cheap. I don't even think it was $1. I ordered a lot of them. A lot of different kinds, and they all had like different prices, but I don't think any of them went past like $2. Once that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and apply this pink liner in my water lines, and then I'm gonna go ahead with my mascara and, you know, blend my actual real lashes in with the fake ones, and then also put some mascara in my lower lashes. So now I'm just gonna apply the same shadows that I use for my eye. I'm going to apply that at the bottom just to smoke that part out too. So I'm going to go in with the black first and then blend the black out with the pink. So for highlight, I am using the beccacosmetics highlighter, and this is in the shade topaz. It's such a beautiful gold, and I'm just gonna go ahead, look at that, oh my, and highlight all my highlighting areas, all the areas that I will highlight. So I place some on my cheeks, not my cheeks, but y'all know, y'all can see. And then I also place some in the inner corners of my eyes, and then I place some at my brow bone, on my brow bone, sorry. I also applied a little bit of the highlighter on my nose. Like, I am so tired. It is 2:48 and I'm sitting here doing voiceover. But I'm just highlighting all the areas that I want to see glow, which is, I mean, I wish it was everywhere, but you know. So for the lips, I am using, I believe this is the Too Faced Evil Twin. And then I'm gonna go over that with I think it's Katvondbeauty, and the shade is called, sorry guys, I'm trying to look it up. It's called Lolita, and I'm gonna use those two to ombre my lips. So that's it, guys. This is the finished look. I loved it. It was beautiful. Let me know what you think of this, and if you guys would like to be seeing more makeup tutorial, just let me know in the comment section below and I will do so for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you in my next video.